Hi, my name is Johnny Canal, and today we're going to be talking about one of the craziest TV shows in Mexico ever created. Now, this show that I am talking about is called Mujer Casos de la Vida Real, which translates to Women Real Life Cases. Now, the translation doesn't really seem to make any sense when you translate it to English. It actually makes more sense in Spanish, in my opinion, so it sounds kind of weird when you translate it to English. But what I'm going to be talking about is what is the show about. Basically, the show has different stories for each episode. Sometimes episodes bring two stories an hour long. And basically, these are real life stories and real tales from experiences from real people. The viewer sends the stories into the lady on the TV show or the production team, and they're all based on reality. So let's go ahead and talk about a little bit background of the TV show. The show started in 1985 as a response to the Mexican earthquake of 1985. It was to show assistance to victims and basically tell their stories on the TV show. It got very popular with Mexican viewers that it caused the television network Televisa to actually produce a TV show based on this show, because the premise was kind of a unique at its time. Nobody really had seen something similar to this at its time in Mexico, and it ended up being developed into a full-on show in the 90s where it consisted of an hour long format. Sometimes there were episodes that had two different stories in one of them, or sometimes it was a full entire hour episode with a certain stories. Now, the show is hosted by actress and politician Sylvia Pinal. I really can't pronounce her name very well, so don't get angry with me in the comment section. But basically, she is kind of like the main producer of the show, and she is also the person that hosts the show and tells you the beginning, kind of like a Jerry Springer type of message in the beginning of the show, and then as well as when the case or the story ends as well, she comes back in. But she's basically the host who's being presented, and I believe she was also a producer. The series covered a wide range of topics and themes such as domestic violence, infidelity, poverty, discrimination, SA, murder, and much more. Each episode featured a different story showcasing various topics. The series' purpose was aimed to shed light on social issues and raise awareness to various topics in Mexican society. The show was praised on the emotional and realistic portrayals, often drawing inspiration from true events and personal testimonies. Now, you may be wondering, Johnny, why did you title this video "The Scariest Disturbing Mexican TV Show in History"? Well, one thing that I have to mention before I actually start talking about the show and different episodes is that this TV show in Mexico was literally based on real life cases in Mexico. Everything is based on reality. So a part of the acting or show is not lies that people make up. It's literally stuff that people experience through their life in Mexico. Now, the reason why I also titled it is because since it's based on reality, it just makes you wonder the humanity in people and how some people are just straight up evil. And this is just only in Mexico. Imagine the whole world, what goes on in other countries, not just Mexico. The initial episode I'll be discussing is called Death is Neighbor. It begins with a young woman in her 20s seeking help from a neighbor to administer a prescribed injection. In Mexico, it's common for individuals to rely on individuals in their community with some medical knowledge. This practice enables them to avoid high costs associated with hospitals or clinics. Often the decision is influenced by factors such as the distance between their village and the nearest medical facility. The second medical injection goes smoothly with no ill intentions from the neighbors to harm the woman. However, an eerie atmosphere surrounds the lady, hinting at an impending darkness. Uncommonly, she keeps a pet scorpion, which serves as a foreshadowing element, giving us a sense of what might unfold. The malevolent neighbor notices the lady's husband and develops an interest in him, but he rejects her advances, emanating an unsettling energy. The evil neighbor then engages the lady in a peculiar conversation about love, behaving strangely. Eventually, she mentions the grandmother's beautiful garden, which led to its unfortunate destruction intentionally by the evil neighbor. The husband expresses his strong aversion towards the neighbor, sensing a malevolent aurora from her, and urges the lady not to return. However, she insists on just one more medical injection, assuring him that she will sever all ties with the neighbor afterwards. Unbeknownst to the lady, the evil neighbor devises a sinister plan to replace the medical injection syringe with a deadly scorpion poison. Seizing a moment when the lady is distracted, she carries her nefarious scheme ruthlessly, ending the life of the lady. Shockingly, the remorseless neighbor then dismembers the lady's body, only to be discovered by the police. Miraculously, the baby is found unharmed, leaving us to wonder about the neighbor's sinister intentions. In the concluding moment, Silvio Pinal quotes Gabriel's testimony, expressing his eternal bewilderment at the evil thoughts and actions of the neighbor. He vows to never forgive her, pledging to educate his children about the existence of malevolent individuals and preserve their mother's memory. That is just one of the disturbing episodes of Mujer Casos de la Vida Real. There's several different more disturbing episodes that could probably be even worse than this one, but that is definitely one of the top ones that I personally found pretty disturbing. However, it just gives you a sense that humanity cannot be trusted. You cannot trust anyone in humanity. There's so many evil people out there that you can't just really trust them like that in the real world. Now, the actor definitely did an amazing job portraying the evil lady. I think that's what added a little sense of a little more realism, because that actor is phenomenal. She deserves an award. She did really good. If you speak Spanish, you should definitely check out this episode because it was really good. But the next one I'm going to be talking about even pushes it a little further and more disturbing. In this episode, we delve into the abduction of a young boy. Two evil male individuals conspire a devising plan to kidnap the child, driven by the promise of a $5,000 reward. They attempt to lure the boy with the enticement of choosing a balloon of his liking, but their initial strategy fails when the boy refuses to accompany them. Determined to carry out their sinister scheme, they resort to kidnapping him from his school. The boy's sister returns home and relays the distressing news to their mother. Unfortunately, the police display little concern when the mother reports her son's disappearance. After several agonizing days, the boy is finally returned to his mother, but a tragic turn of events unfolds. He has been rendered blind, his eyes cruelly taken from him, leaving him blind. And they only left him with a balloon and some money because the people responsible for removing his eyes got a little bit guilty. This was one of the most disturbing episodes that I saw on this TV show, and it just makes you wonder how inhumane people are, even against children, that they're willing to do this type of stuff. And it's pretty messed up because it leaves you wondering how much of this stuff happens in the whole world. This probably happens all around every different country, so it's not just Mexico included. The whole world is included in this. Similar stories to this have happened before several times in the world. So it's just messed up. It makes you wonder how this kid is now living now that he's probably an adult, because this came out really early in the 90s. And imagine how this kid is living blind his whole life because of some criminals doing this to him. It's just messed up. Now, I know this may not be scary, but they are definitely disturbing. However, there are reports of different scary episodes. There's like over 1,000 episodes made from this show, so some of them might be more scary than others. However, adding to this, there are actually lost episodes of this TV show. They made so many episodes, there are some that are missing that nobody has been able to get them again because they haven't been rebroadcasted anywhere. And unfortunately, who knows when they will be out in the wild, such as the story of the balloon kid who got the balloon and got his eyes taken out. That episode was actually lost for a while until somebody re-uploaded it on the internet. There's another episode that apparently a girl is frightened about a werewolf coming after her. Think of the boogeyman for the US. She is taken to a party by her parents where she is seen by several creepy looking people who are looking at the girl very menacingly. She is led outside of the party by a person's face who's never shown on the screen, just a hairy hand guiding the girl away with candy. The girl is found on a trash bag by an old woman not long after. Her hand is sticking out of the bag. So this is kind of like more of the paranormal stuff that they made in this TV show. So nobody knows exactly what exactly happened or anything because it hasn't been found, the episode. There's several different more episodes as well that have been missing that people have been looking for a while. But it definitely delves into paranormal and I would say pretty scary. And like I mentioned before, if you watch a lot of episodes, there's just going to be a lot of lost in humanity in a lot of episodes because there are pretty shocking and overboard. The stories that just happened are really messed up. And I didn't even mention some of the other worse ones that are on the TV show. These are just two that I personally found that is a good introduction for you to the TV show. But yeah, it's definitely a crazy TV show. Unfortunately, the show did end in 2007, and there was rumors in 2019 about the show's revival, but that never happened. I don't know why they never brought the show back, but it definitely was one of the impactful shows in the Hispanic community. They did make a comparable show that's kind of similar to this one called the Rosa de Guadalupe, but I believe that show is way more tame in terms of the themes. There's certain stuff that does happen bad in that show, but not at the extreme that this show went, because this show definitely went to the extreme and above when it came to several different themes and topics in the episodes. It actually showed more of a reality of what goes on in the world rather than just making it tamed down or anything like that. It showed the brutality and the inhumane personalities of different humans in this world. So yeah, it sucks that they never brought the show back, but it's definitely one of the shows that is going to be remained in the Mexican culture. And I think that honestly, a lot of people should give it a watch. If you're a person that wants to go ahead and watch him and knows how to speak Spanish, I would highly recommend you watch this show because it is definitely crazy and entertaining. It's not like the Twilight Zone. It's more like the kind of like a version of the Twilight Zone in real life. On that note, thank you for watching this video and I hope you have a nice day. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button and let me know in the comment section what you think about this video. If I should make similar videos to this in the future where I discuss certain episodes or more episodes within the show if you really enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a nice day.